So thank God it's Thursday. It's another beautiful day. It's another beautiful opportunity. It's a privilege for you and I, and we are not going to let it just slide us by. It won't pass us by because we are here to take what is ours. So how are you this morning? Today is Thursday, the 21st, as you all know, November 2024. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful moment. It's a beautiful atmosphere, as we all see it, and we pray God will continue to strengthen and encourage us on every side. It's another day, so what do you hope to do today? What are those things that goes through your mind and you feel, where do I take this from? Do you have any plans for today? If you don't, your new thoughts and your new strength will carry you. All you just need to do is to plan it well. In the process of your planning, make sure you're not going to do it above, above your gauge. Don't go past your limit. If you're going somewhere, make sure you have enough fun to step out. Make sure you are ready. And make sure that that place you're going is somewhere that is profitable. Yes, somewhere that you know at the end of the day when you're coming back, feel fulfilled. And you believe that you have accomplished or fulfilled, you have done something meaningful to help yourself, and you're a step higher than how you started the day. My name is Olori Adejoke Adubi David. This is Galaxy Television. The program is Family and Values. Family and Values is a program that comes on your airwave from Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. every day, Monday to Friday. We talk about everything that has to do with your family, my family, your home, my home, our environment, our society. The people will come across, our neighbors, the community we're from. Our home takes us back to the basis where we started from. Who are we? It helps us to remember how we're nurtured, how we grew up, how we need to also do the same to the young ones around us, the ones who are bringing forth what we hope and we are expected to do as parents, as a good neighbor, as a good friend, as a good colleague in our place of work. Okay, so that is what Family and Value is all about. So this morning, it's a healthy Thursday, and we're out to talk about everything that has to do with the family, the health, and the well-being of everyone around us. So, as you know, I'll always not be here alone. Someone is always next to me. By the grace of God, I have a sister, and she's all in white and blue this morning. The angels are singing peace. Peace.
Indeed, they are singing peace because it's actually
Nigeria,
a
peace.
peaceful atmosphere. So they will definitely sing peace. Good morning to you. Welcome to Family and Values on Galaxy Television. Like Olori has said, peace will reign over every situation. Whatever you're going through, peace will definitely reign. If you feel you are going to, November is ending and you've not achieved anything, peace, be still. Let your heart be at rest. Somebody posted something and said, December is not a deadline to make it. Please don't steal my phone. And that post actually got me thinking, because a lot of people will be under pressure to celebrate the festive period in a grand style. Please celebrate within your range. We are ending November, hopefully by next week by God's grace, and we are entering into December. That December euphoria is always around. But whatever it is, let your heart be at peace. Start it on a peaceful note. Don't pass your limits. Welcome to Family and Values. My name is Princess Joy Ayo Abu. Today is Healthy Thursday, but don't worry, I didn't go to the gym, but I exercised at home. Some days you just wake up and that urge to go to the gym just disappears. So if you're seeing me this morning, I'm not saying I went to the gym. No, I did not, but I checked my BP. Hope you checked your BP anyway. It's Healthy Thursday. And of course, a healthy family is a healthy society. Welcome to Family and Value once again. And don't forget, we are streaming on our YouTube page. Please go and follow us on our YouTube page. Download the Galaxy mobile app so that you can watch us on the go, so that you don't get to miss any of the topics. Today is another one that you don't want to miss. Come, let's have that conversation on the show.
Okay, it's do we have any shout out?
Okay, yes. Pastor Yubo's daughter clocked 3 years today. Happy birthday, Isimi. She's 3. Today she clocked 3 years. And if you see the girl, a very fine, pretty girl, Isimi Oyibo. Happy birthday to you. I'm wishing you the very best. Your parents are wishing you the very best. You'll grow in wisdom and in the knowledge and understanding of the Lord. These 3 years you would live to celebrate 100 and above. The Lord will keep you and protect you.
Okay, so as we go on, today is my mom's birthday actually. She had it another year. She was born in 1950. So do the calculations yourself.
Yeah,
happy birthday to Iyabode Roslyn, the daughter of Omoli. Okay. Happy many more celebrations. We pray God will not make this to be the last you celebrate with us. Amen. It's been God all the way. He has always been there for you. The energy you carry, even with younger, with the fears, yeah, what kind of energy be this one? But to God be the glory. We wish you happy birthday from myself, my siblings, my children, your grandchildren, and the great-grandchildren that will be coming much later. Happy birthday to you. Today is also Davido's birthday. Today is also, I've forgotten this lady's name. Many happy celebrations, birthday celebrations to everyone celebrating today.
Yeah, Joke,
so
just like we call her. This is happy birthday to you. Every time I call, she says, how are you? The energy is just something else. And sometimes you just wonder, like, where did she get this whole energy from? I mean, just be like maybe all those old school teachers in those days that used to teach, but she wasn't in the teaching profession, but always very active and this.
So, happy birthday to you. Celebrate many more.
To eat rice.
So it's time for us to go for our mini feature because our guest is ready. So let's go all the way to see and listen to our mini feature. We'll be right back. Today's topic, you don't want to miss it. You need to know why. Stay tuned.
Cesarean section, also known as C-section, cesarean or cesarean delivery, is a surgical procedure by which one or more babies are delivered through an incision in the mother's abdomen. This is often performed because vaginal delivery will put the mother or child at risk. Reasons for the operation include obstructed labor, twin pregnancy, high blood pressure in the mother, breech birth, shoulder presentation, and problems with the placenta or umbilical cord. A cesarean delivery may be performed based upon the shape of mother's pelvis or history of a previous C-section. A trial of vaginal birth after C-section may be possible. The World Health Organization recommends that cesarean section be performed only when medically necessary. Why are C-sections done? A cesarean section may be planned, which is elective cesarean section, or unplanned, including emergency or crash cesarean sections. Planned cesarean section. Reasons for a planned cesarean section include: the baby is in the breech position, feet first, and your doctor or midwife has been unable to turn them by applying gentle pressure to your tummy, or you would prefer they did not try this. Low-lying placenta, placenta parivia. Pregnancy-related high blood pressure, preeclampsia. Certain infections, such as a first genital herpes infection occurring late in pregnancy, or untreated HIV. In a planned or elective cesarean section, you and your obstetric team decide before labor that you will be having a cesarean section. You don't go into labor, and the section is usually performed at 39 weeks in order to do it before labor begins spontaneously. This means you will know the date of your baby's birth in advance. Emergency cesarean section. Reasons for an emergency cesarean section include: your baby is becoming increasingly distressed. Your labor is not progressing despite interventions. You have uncontrolled high blood pressure or preeclampsia. Your midwife and obstetrician think that the baby won't come down through your pelvis, usually partly because of the baby's size and position and partly because of your pelvic shape. unexpected difficult position of the baby, for example, unexpected breech baby. All other cesarean sections are considered emergency cesarean sections. The degree of urgency will vary greatly depending on the reason. An emergency cesarean section generally means one that was not originally planned. It is often performed after labor has begun in the first or second stage of labor because it is felt to be the safest delivery option for you and your baby. Most emergency cesarean sections are performed 1 to 2 hours after the decision is taken to do one. What are the different types of C-section? Most cesarean sections are of a type called a lower segment cesarean section, LSCS. A few are of a type called a classical cesarean section, lower segment cesarean section. A classical cesarean, a cesarean hysterectomy. How long does a cesarean section take? A cesarean section typically takes 40 minutes to an hour from start to finish. Good news to all the expectant mothers who are lined up for a planned C-section, especially registered to a government hospital. You may be operated for free. Let's join our guests and our hostesses, Olori AJ and Princess Joy.
Okay, it's time for us to dig deep into this word. Our topic today, according to our mini feature, is cesarean section. Some call it C-section. Some call it CS. I don't know what name you call it, but all we want to talk about today is cesarean section. And we have none other to deal with this topic with us than Dr. Emma Onyenuche. He is the medical director and CEO of Waterfalls Hospital in Okota. And this morning, Doctor, it's so good to have you. He's joining us from Okota live. Okay? It's until...
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning, Doctor. How are you this morning? You and Joy, you are elegant white and blue. Did you have any meeting?
Doctor is a product of my university, so we had done the university
great
collaboration.
Were you planning to sideline me? Anyway, I'm in navy blue, so
you,
it's all good. It's good to have you, sir. Good morning. How's the family?
Yeah, great. Thank you very much. And yes, good to be here. Great Malabres.
Okay, so Doctor, as we go into today's business, can you share with us why or at what point in time will doctors decide that we need to carry out a C-section? I don't want to be asking what is C-section, but let's go into it because it will all come out, and I want us to be able to dissect and walk into this topic itself. So at what point will doctor decide that to save the life of the mother and the baby, the option left for us is to go on C-section?
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. The principle is to have baby, mother, and baby alive in that order. Mother is a priority to us, then baby also. So the principle is to, in delivery, you have an alive, healthy mother and a alive, healthy baby. So whatever we do or decision taking is to arrive at that point. And we always like to make the women, the couple as it were, to know that. So if all of us agree from the beginning of the pregnancy that we want a safe outcome, irrespective of the direction, it helps a lot when we reach that bridge to be able to cross it. Although we still have a lot of resistance when it comes to that because of so many factors I believe we are going to discuss. So cesarean section can be emergency. It can also be elective, like we use elective simply means that it's planned. So at that point where we will take the decision, it depends. If it's planned, then we already know probably it's multiple pregnancy and the position and lie of the babies is in the way that probably one is lying transverse, one is sitting down bridge. So already we know that this is going to lead to cesarean section. So that's it. It's already agreed. So we're just waiting on time. It can also be that the woman's pelvis, what we call a disproportion between the woman's pelvis and the baby. So in this case, we refer to the woman as the passage and then the baby as the passenger. So if the passenger and passage, if there's a disproportion, passenger is bigger than the passage, you will not subject the woman to unnecessary pain and then risk the life of the passenger. So if that disproportion is there, you already know that you are going to, so everyone knows that, look, this is going to be a CS. Then if there are other factors like maternal ill health, severe hypertension, all those kind of maternal sickness like hypertension and the rest, it can also be lead to something that's already planned. If the woman has heart disease, for instance, that you don't want to subject her to, she barely managed to carry the pregnancy, and you know that if you subject her body to pressure of labor, she may lose her life. So if there are medical conditions that will warrant a baby delivered through CS, though that is for the one that is elective, planned. But for emergency, at the point where we take that decision, of course, we take the decision with the consent of the couple. It's very important because no matter how good your intention is, if they don't give you consent, you can run into problems. So at that point where a baby, the mother life or the baby life is at risk. So there may be a situation where suddenly the woman begins to be very weak, what we call maternal exhaustion, because of maybe prolonged labor or obstructed labor. Sometimes with all your preparation, you can still have obstructed labor, or fetal distress. The baby, you notice that this baby, the parameters that you usually check keep going down. You notice that, look, this baby's heart rate is dropping. So when you monitor that the heart rate of the baby is dropping, that there needs to be an emergency intervention. So at that point, a decision to deliver abdominally can be taken. So maternal factors, the mother is exhausted, the mother have developed high blood pressure, those things that will lead to taking decision immediately or in emergency, or baby has a fetal distress, at that point, we'll quickly discuss that, look, this baby doesn't look like a baby that can go through normal delivery. We are likely to lose this baby, or the mother might have developed complications. So we take that decision.
Okay, Joy.
All right, doctor, thank you for that explanation. And I love the fact that you're so calm this morning. Now, I want to ask, how can mothers or women prepare for CS? You've been talking about preparation. How do we get them to prepare generally for CS? Aside the ones that are coming in form of emergency cases, but you're already telling this woman that this baby is going to come through CS. What are those procedures that get her prepared for a cesarean section?
Okay, thank you. So preparation for cesarean section is first of all starts with emotional or psychological preparation. The woman needs to appreciate the fact that if the cesarean section is a way to help, it's for the best outcome. So you must be able to have that pep talk with the woman because she's the one going in. Most of the time, because of culture, belief system, and the rest, it's very difficult for the woman to accept it. So that's the first preparation, to get them to appreciate that it is for their own good and will mean well. So if you cross that hurdle, all the other things are easy. So all the other things are now to show that everyone going for surgery must have a certain level of blood. So they check the woman's blood level. We also check for some common infections. No one goes to the theater without knowing if the person is HIV positive, hepatitis B, hepatitis C. So there are some common tests that are done. So once those tests are done to ensure that the blood level is okay, we know her status in terms of those infections, blood especially that can cross to the baby, and so on the day of the surgery, also we usually like them to have fast. That means they will not eat solid food. They can take liquid and the rest of it. So if it is a planned CS, you can do an overnight fast. That's usually what we do more in our center. If it's planned, if it's not emergency, so you come in, the patient comes in the previous night. So the sleeping is already a fast. Since you're not eating in the night, the person wakes up, you have already fasted. So you don't subject her to another fast, and the surgery is done. So, but in the ones that are done during the day or that the person is also, it's always good to have an empty bowel because of all those vomiting and other complications that can happen as a result of the surgery. So those are some of the basic preparations. Once the person is prepared in the mind, and of course they get ready the same way they get ready for to receiving their babies with all the things they need to acquire for baby. And once that is done, the surgery can proceed.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. We've been discussing, for viewers who are just tuning in and joining us,
Yeah.
we've been discussing cesarean section. And today being a healthy Thursday, it's a day we don't want to just let it pass us by. And I love the word of marble. Sometimes the number of my scars are the number of my victories. I know some of us who are gospel listeners will always remember that song. And it talked about the scar. It saved the baby's life and saved the mother's life. So you look at how your life was preserved. Earlier before we started, Joe was saying, when you look at it, you just remember, this scar, brought this joy to this world. And so, Doctor, I want to ask, how has the perception evolved when you talk about cesarean section, especially in the area of financial support, financial needs? How expensive is a CS? Because, apart from signing, one thing is for you to sign, another thing is for you, because there will be a consent from the partner that, okay, go ahead. If the person's partner is not alive, maybe the in-laws or someone who is next to you will have to sign. But it's another thing for you. God will not let us lose. Yoruba people say, "Omilo for agildanu," something like that. It's like, thank God, that's to people who lose their child in the process of bringing forth. The child is gone, but thank God the mother is still there. She can still get pregnant, with that strong faith. Now, financially, you are going to the market. You want to go and buy crates of egg. And suddenly, I'm just trying to create this analogy with the economy of Nigeria, 6,000, 7,000. You now got the money and you want to take the crates of egg home for you and your family to eat. And suddenly on the way, a bike man or somebody just hits you. You'll be running after your life, and later you now remember, and I bought this egg for me and my family. Now, there's no egg. In the process of C-section, apart from signing those dotted lines that I am responsible for whatever, happens, now the financial, I remember many years ago, people always find it difficult. C-section, you have to pay, especially when such a woman has been marked for CS. How has the perspective, the perception evolved when we talk about financial side of it? How has it changed?
Yeah, thank you. The concerns you raised are genuine. Cost is an issue worldwide. Health is not cheap, actually, anywhere in the world. It depends on the area, location, and of course, the economic situation around. But what you observe is that somehow people just take health as it should be a humanitarian service. So, but it is not. in ideal because it is also a source of livelihood for many, many people who are trained in that profession. So, in as much as we consider that things are difficult, but from experience, we just see that sometimes people just liken us to maybe pastors or something charity. So you can see somebody that will come to tell you all the problems in the world, how the house rent, children's school fees, things are expensive in the market. I've spent all the money. I just paid house rent last week. Meanwhile, it's a pregnancy that is 9 months, so they do every other thing other than planning for that pregnancy. You know, actually, delivery is not supposed to be an emergency. Even if you say, oh, it's an emergency, yes, it gives you 9 months to plan. People plan for many things. In fact, people plan for the whole one bed. They so actually do everything, keep money aside for big party. You just need to see people who could not pay their bill in hospital 1 week later when they are celebrating. You will just know that it's about priority. So the cost is there and the cost is rising because every other thing is rising. The house rent is rising, the school fees is rising, the cost of goods and services in the market. You go to shops and all that. So it's a general thing, it's not peculiar to the hospital. As a matter of fact, the hospital service is not rising in the same way with all the other costs because there's that humanity aspect, the emotional attachment, save life first. There's so much that they used to box the doctors in a corner. So once you go to certain length, you look like you don't have humanity. I mean, you have to save life first. We are talking about this. So, and all those things are good, but it's just good to have a balance. So, to us, I think that the way forward is actually a health insurance because the economy is not getting better. And the things that I used to do this session, I do continue to improve in quality. It's going to cost you anesthesia, cost of anesthesia, anesthesiologists, cost of surgery. There's, also many other consumables and both staff and infrastructure that is needed to sustain even a single patient. So overhead cost is quite high. If you put all those costs, you will see that it's going to be difficult to achieve. So even in a place like Lagos, the cost you get in their practice now at Okota is not the same as you get at Victoria Island. It's not the same as Ikeja. So all those things, it's not even the same as maybe people who are going to Alimosho or Ajegunle. So there will be small differences because of other costs that is factored in. But generally we should know that health is not cheap, and people who want quality should not want to pay peanuts. That's just the truth. I don't know if I have answered your concern, but I can give more information if you desire.
I love the fact that you said health is not cheap, and people who
Hello.
want to go through it should pay more concern. But let's talk about the physical and emotional challenges that comes with cesarean sections. Now, I can relate to this topic because I had to go through an emergency once 8 years ago back then, and I wasn't prepared for it. So emotionally I was down, and for the fact that I couldn't drink water, you're talking about the fast, when they say you don't have to eat food and you're hungry and everything, and it was emergency, and everything. So emotionally it wasn't okay for me. But you're talking of 9 months preparation. People, yes, I know people that actually prepared from day one, that they were going in for CS and they prepared. But what are the emotional and physical challenges that comes with CS that really makes women not to buy the idea? Because if you put 10 women together that are pregnant and you say, okay, 5 of you will go through CS, everybody will start pleading the blood of Jesus. They will start rebuking. In fact, you will turn to the demon at that period. They'll feel like you're the demon that wants to snatch they start pleading the blood. And for some reason, they see it like weird for them to go through that CS, that cesarean section. So what are the emotional and physical challenges that comes with it? out of experience that people have heard. Some is fear of people's experiences too that has boxed them in that issue of, no, I don't want to go through that process. Can you share some of them with us?
Yes, in fact, you are right. Part of the biggest challenges we have with people agreeing to do cesarean section is fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of death. Once you say it's surgery, hey, God forbid. So, I mean, in fact, sometimes before we get consent, um, sometimes the delay in trying to get consent often lead to complications because they will call their mother in the village, they will call the pastor. So every other person will be consulted before if they can get approval. You say, is it true? Let me talk to the doctor. Sometimes you get worried talking to people who don't have any medical knowledge at all. They only have belief that God didn't tell me this. And there's somebody somewhere that is praying for them say, no, God forbid, it's not what God told me. And you know that all those things are just people just talking because they are afraid. But you realize that over time, the cesarean section has improved. In fact, the fear of death. I mean, I have not had one patient that I did CS for that died. So I do not even look at it as a complication again. Although every surgery carries some risk. Yes, every surgery carries some risk of bleeding, risk of wound, not healing properly, and the rest of them. So, but that emotional. But do you know that some patients one other factor we've not even mentioned is that there are some people who decide one other, besides other reasons like we have enumerated that can make a cesarean section to happen or for a patient to be operated. There are some people who opt for it. So they know, they are enlightened enough, they know, especially now that cesarean section can be done and the person is awake, looking, and when the comes out, she sees her baby, she doesn't feel a pain. So they opt to it rather than even going through labor. They think that labor is too stressful for them. They will tell you, doctor, I want to choose my date. Sometimes they want the date to coincide with their own birthday, their husband's birthday, or a particular date they want to celebrate. So they choose it. So the problem we have emotionally is that fear, and people think that it's a taboo. So there is also that culture aspect where a woman does cesarean section, it will look like you are not. They will tell you Hebrew women when you are a Nigerian woman, they will not say Hebrew women. You are not supposed to go through surgery. Hebrew women are strong. So you will see some people we do cesarean section for. They don't want their visitors to know. So they say someone is coming to visit. They say remove this one. So it's just that trying to impress the people. That thing hanging on. So I don't want them to know that I did surgery. Why? I mean, it's not a taboo. Surgery is even easier way now to save the woman from stress. So if it's indicated, we tell them that if it's indicated, they should agree. So that emotional aspect there. So that fear that I did here, that thing hanging, that they will now say that I did here, the pressure from either mother or grandmother or mother-in-law that will say, "Oh, I have my 9 children. I had your husband without surgery. I had you and your siblings. I didn't do any operation. It's not in our family." So that's emotional. The physical aspect is just that restraint, maybe a longer stay in the hospital, maybe pain and on the operation site, and some people delayed wound healing, and some of those discomfort that follow. That's the physical aspect. The fact that the person will take more time before she goes to do her regular activity. So that's restraint. We can see that those are some of the physical things that women who go through cesarean section operate. Experience. So, but beyond that, there is so much improvement in cesarean section that people should not be afraid to go through the under the knife.
Okay, going under the knife, doctor, I want to ask, at first, what we heard is You can only be caught maybe 3 times. How many times can one, go through CS as a woman? How many times? I know
All
before
right.
now, it used to
Okay.
be 3 times. And again, I want to ask, how does access to health care, how has it helped to impact the availability of C-section? Especially when we
Okay.
talk to
So
when we want to bring in the government into it, how has it been able to affect it or impact it? Sorry.
okay. Anyway, generally, when the government invests in health, uh, it helps. So, in the case of if we use Lagos State, we must give kudos to the Lagos State Ministry of Health. Um, there's a lot compared to other states. I think Lagos should be the number one. If you go to Lagos State Health Center, some other states, their general hospital is not even comparable to the primary health centers you see in Lagos. So Lagos is trying to penetrate every nook and trying to have a functional primary health center and general hospitals. So it has also improved access. So what does it do? It helps, and people are trained to be able to identify risk pregnancy. That's why you see even traditional birth attendants, although you would say, why do you give them attention? They are not in the regular trend, but you see that our people are religious, they are cultural, they will go to TBAs no matter what you do. So TBAs are now trained to be able to identify risk pregnancies, high risk pregnancies, and be able to refer them. So all these adjustments or compromises is just to ensure that people have the best in terms of health. So if the TBA knows that, for instance, is able to identify when a labor is obstructed or when labor is unnecessarily prolonged after how many hours and all that, and be able to say, I could not handle this, please go to this nearest place. It helps. So so that access to health that is going into the communities, it helps to be able to identify this pregnancy and then upward direct them upward to centers where they can get care, especially cesarean section, as in this case. So then on the issue of how many times we can do CS, yes, we like to advise women that because cesarean section involves bridging the womb or the uterus after the abdomen, bridging the uterus. The uterus is a muscular organ that has a lot of blood vessels and muscle and tissue. If you cut it and you cut again and cut again, each subsequent one, the healing is weaker. You see, when you have a wound and it heals, you will realize that when it heals, that place almost never becomes the same again. It's weak. So by the time you cut once, you cut twice, you cut 3 times, there is a chance of so not that we just say don't do another CS. We are even saying do not get pregnant again because I have witnessed ruptured uterus. I have had someone rush to my hospital who they are who is pushing in labor and the womb ruptured. It's a life threatening emergency. So I mean we will have to just go in, let's open up the woman and start arresting bleeding and to repair that tear. So it's not a good sight. So in order to save the life of the women, we advise that by the time you have done cesarean section 3 times, it is best not to attempt again. That is not to say that if there's a fourth pregnancy that comes, it won't be delivered. I have seen the cases where people get pregnant again for some reason, either planned or planned, or just daring, or just because they need a particular gender, they will call the bluff of medical advice. But all those things are based on statistics. One person may escape, two may escape, the third may lose their life. And women do not have any reason to lose their life because of pregnancy. So that's why if someone has 3 children or something like that, the womb has been breached 3 times, it's best to be safe. So that's why that 3 came up as a benchmark. I mean, so if you have had 3 CS, it's advised that you do not get pregnant further.
through the types of cesarean sections that we have, because I've had people say their own, they had to cut the stitches, another one, oh, the stitches had to melt, you know, and all of that. So some people will say, I don't want to go back to the hospital because here you need to cut the stitches. So quickly, what are the types of cesarean sections that we have, and which is modern, of course, that people now. But for me, I didn't go through the one you have to cut through the stitches. It just disappeared, and you know, I never saw this guy again. So if you can quickly help us through that, it would help.
Yes, okay, yeah. So, like I said, you remember earlier I said that things have evolved. There have been changes beyond the type of stitch, even the anesthesia that is used. Before, what was popular was the general anesthesia. The woman sleeps off, and that's why people were afraid that they will die. The people always want to be conscious, and they want to be looking at you. They want, so anything that will make them unconscious, they are not comfortable. They think that they will die from there. Although a few have also died due to complications during surgery, but you know, majority don't die. So if so that is another thing. So beyond the general anesthesia, we also have um, the spinal. For instance, people you do spinal anesthesia, the person is alive, is I mean awake, is breathing, but he doesn't feel any pain from the belly down to the legs until when the surgery is completed after some time before. So that's on one side. And on the side of stitches, yes, there's absorbable stitches. There's also the type that is non-absorbable. So the more modern one we use is the absorbable. So it's subcute. You will not know that there are stitches. It just runs. The skin is apposed, and the woman do not need to come back for stitch removal because what is used is just like a material of the skin, so it's absorbed and healing takes place and all that. Some people also still do the one with non-absorbable, the nylon where we interrupted for some reason. Some people also still do it. It just depends on reason. Do you want more strength? Sometimes they want something that will have more strength and last longer. If there are reasons for it to be done, or they want to put a drain or something, you know. So, but the more modern one is the one that is done subcutaneously with absorbable suture. The stitch is not showing. So the woman, about day 4, day 5, or there from there on, the woman can be discharged. She goes home, doesn't come for stitch removal, and that's the more popular one. That's what we do in our center.
Grateful for the time you have spent with us. Thank you so much, Dr. Emmanuel. We are very, very grateful. And we hope to see you very soon. We are looking forward to having you physically, not virtual. One day we'll just come and carry you from that Okota, bring you down to Ikeja here.
That day we'll carry chopper and go and carry doctor. We will just definitely to just land you. We need you live in the studio.
It's been an honor to have you once again this morning. Thank you so very much. We wish you the very best of today and hope you give a message to everyone in Waterfalls Hospital. Wish you the very best. Thank you so much, sir. Have a great day ahead. Bye for now.
Thank you very much.